What's up, everybody? I think I'm live, and there I am right now. Why can't I see myself? And I want to welcome everybody. Uh, we're doing this one through Facebook today for the first time, and we'll actually be doing it through YouTube right after this as well, through our YouTube channel. My name is Ryan West. I'm with Iowa Workforce Development. I hope everybody can see me okay. I had some technical difficulties this morning. And our goal is to do these twice a week. We weren't able to do it this past Tuesday, but the goal is to simulcast these through Facebook and through YouTube. So we're excited about that. And they're all really based around Mission Employable, which you can see the sign behind me, which is our new Facebook page name, which previously was Future Ready Iowa. Future Ready Iowa is still here. Great. We love all of it. But Mission Employable allows us to really encompass a lot more things around workforce. So that's why we made that switch. And we have the Mission Employable podcast, which we're super pumped about. If you're not downloading or checking that out, we highly encourage it. You can get it through Google Play or the Apple App Store. And today's episode that we want to talk about is around the job opportunities that are available here at Iowa Workforce Development / Iowa Works. I'll explain what that means here in a little bit. Because one of the things that we kind of forget to do here in this state agency is we're always trying to help employers find workers or job seekers find employers, but we need help as well. And so that's really what I want to take some time to go over with you here this morning and just give you some tips, things to look about, and actually talk about some job opportunities that are available out there right now through our DAS website. And I'll go ahead and put that comment in there now. Ds.hre.iowa. So you'll see in the chat box in the messages that I just put in the das.hre. It's the Department of Administrative Services website, and that website is where you can find not only jobs for Iowa Workforce Development, but also all of the state agencies out there. I believe all the state agencies are out there. So just go to that website. You're actually going to click on, I think it's under state employment, and then you can actually search. Yeah, you're going to go to Human Resources, State Employment, and then you're going to want to go to Job Openings for All Applicants. And when you click on that, it's actually going to bring up a bunch of information. But what you can do over on the right is click the filter, and that filter will allow you to filter where you're at, or you can filter by salary, or a lot of different ways. So for us specifically today, since we're talking about Iowa Workforce Development, all the jobs with Iowa Workforce Development are there. That includes jobs with Iowa Works. Iowa Works are local offices around the state of Iowa. We're going to talk about the vacancies they have right now, some of the vacancies they have right now. Those go through Iowa Workforce Development as well. So if you're like, well, where do I find a job for Iowa Works? You're going to do it through Iowa Workforce Development as well. And then also, we have jobs through labor. We have a labor division here, and we have workers' compensation. A lot of people forget about that. Those jobs would be posted there as well. I don't believe we have job opportunities for those two on there, but I don't believe we do right now. But, the stuff for like OSHA, workers' comp does, the bulk of our folks that work there are commissioners, attorneys who are working workers' compensation cases. So a lot of stuff going on. Let's kind of jump into this and talk about some opportunities. I think what I'll do for today is kind of talk about, if you've never worked for the state, or you're new to workforce, or you're looking to get your foot in the door. The two areas I'm going to start with first are those areas that are a great way to start, and hopefully you stay with us. But the reality is there are other opportunities within the state. Those include unemployment insurance and our Iowa Works office. So think about it this way. The bulk of what we do here around workforce is we help pay unemployment insurance claims, and then we help folks find jobs. Now, we have a real big emphasis on helping folks find jobs. But the reality is unemployment is still in there, and it's still a factor throughout the year. Iowa's a seasonal state, so you're going to have those opportunities. We're going to go through points where folks are unemployed. It's just the reality of it. But what we're trying to do is get folks back into the workforce and look at other opportunities. So I want to start with those two divisions first: unemployment insurance, and we'll just call it our workforce division, okay, just to make it simple. So we'll start with unemployment insurance. I started out in unemployment insurance, so I feel comfortable talking about this one really ad nauseum, but I won't do that and bore that with you today. But there are opportunities there, and they're going to be more. Usually what happens with unemployment, there's positions popping up there throughout the year. So we really encourage folks to look at that. Right now, as it stands, I believe we have 22 positions available, which is a lot. We've actually fluctuating right around that number or more that are actually out there ready to be, you can apply for them. 22. Now, it only shows 15, but that's because one of them has like 7 or 8 vacancies, and I'll talk about that. So again, 22 positions with Iowa Workforce Development available all over the state of Iowa. So let's start with that unemployment insurance. So the first one we'll talk about is our workforce associate. That position is really going to be customer service based. And I should preface this by saying most of the opportunities here are all customer service, including this one that I do. We're serving the public. That's what we do here. So if you have a real passion for that, I'll talk about some of the things and why you want to work here as we get through some of these jobs. So I don't want to keep jumping around. Let me stick to this. So that workforce associate position is a great starter position, or a position for folks that just are looking for something that's a comfortable job. Customer service. That is this one. Customer service position. We're hiring 8 of those candidates. So that's the one we have 22 positions, but we're only hiring. One of them has 8 vacancies. They're all here in Des Moines. That one is at 1000 East Grand. That's where I'm at right now. We're right across from the Capitol. That's our admin building. The duties include answering questions on unemployment insurance claims, filing and processing unemployment insurance claims, applications, and other computer paperwork. Now, you really can't go to college to get a degree in unemployment insurance. Most of the time, the folks that really succeed in unemployment insurance are just they're good at customer services. That's what we do. You're gonna go through spurts where it's just different times of the year where we're doing different things around unemployment insurance. But it's a great position to get started, or a position if you're out of the workforce for a while and you're looking to come back. We're looking for folks right out of college. This one does require a 4-year degree or comparable education or work experience. Or if maybe you're retired and you want to come back, or you're in the middle, it doesn't really matter. With all the jobs here, we're looking to fill them. So if you got the passion to really help people, that's a good spot for you. Another position we have there is our employer liability specialist. That position is responsible for tax collections from employers that owe money to IWD. Again, that work involves phone work, computer work, negotiating payment plans, and work as a team. So that position is on our tax side of our unemployment insurance. A little more technical, just from a standpoint of, sometimes when you get into the accounting and payments, that can scare people a little bit. But, for folks who have that background, are comfortable with that, that's not going to be a big deal for them. So again, we commonly refer to that one as our ELS. That is our employer liability specialist. I should say on the workforce associate position, that position is on our benefits side. So unemployment insurance is 3 real main areas: benefits, paying the claimants, tax, working with the employers, and then our fraud team that's detecting and looking at fraud. So those are the 3 main ones. So appeals fits in there, but they're not with IWD anymore. And so I won't go into that. But so there's a good balance, and you can work your way through all of them, understanding a fundamental of unemployment insurance. The good thing about unemployment insurance, if you get into that realm, if you get into that field, unemployment insurance is a federal program, so it gets federal dollars. That's the other thing you should understand with some of the positions at IWD. We get a lot of federal funding for these. It's not just all state. In fact, most of what we get is federal. So it's a good thing. Unemployment's been around for 85 years, since the New Deal out of the Social Security Act. So it's going to be here. It's a mainstay. So it's a good field to get into, and it's just good. It's a good position to be in from a standpoint of there's opportunities to move up. I don't think we have any workforce advisor positions. That's actually what I started out with. I'm looking on the DAS website right now. We typically have those out there, but a workforce associate could then work their way into a workforce advisor. Obviously more, but yeah, there are some workforce advisors positions out there, and I believe those are on the other side of our house, which we'll talk about. That's on that employment side. So again, mouthful there, but a lot of opportunities. Head over to das.hrre.gov. I see we got the link in there. We pinned it to the top, so you can check that out too. So that's on the unemployment insurance side. We're really looking to hire quickly on those. So get out there, take a look at them. If you have friends, family, coworkers, you're looking for a change, whatever, neighbors, we'd really love to have people go out and check those out and apply for the positions. Now we'll go to the field side or the employment side. So remember, unemployment insurance, and then we have those Iowa Works offices. This is more of, they do a little unemployment out there as well. Don't get me wrong. But the main focus is on workforce, resumes, things of that nature. And our folks in our just like in our unemployment side, on this side in our 15 local offices. So you wouldn't be here at 1,000 East Grand, you'd be in one of those local offices. This is where if you're somewhere else in the state outside of Des Moines, these opportunities will be more for you, because both of those positions I talked about for unemployment are in the Des Moines area. So these will be more out and about around the state, and equally passionate folks in these offices. They're really engaged in the community. And if you're a rural Iowa person, this may be more your niche just because of where the locations are. Okay, so let's talk about them. They got a variety of positions out there. So when you hear Iowa Works, there's three really common names. We call it Iowa Works, our field offices, or American Job Centers. It really means they're all the same thing, just different titles. We like to give titles and acronyms here, but it's really not that confusing. So here's a position. So we have a career planner open position in the following areas, or they soon will be. I think this is what this one. So these will be coming. All right. So that's why you really want to keep an eye on that on the website. In Marshalltown, we'll have 2. In Denison, in Creston, in Council Bluffs, and Cedar Rapids. Okay. These include, I believe, workforce program, RCM. Yeah. So these are going to be all positions. Again, career planner positions. They're going to be helping folks in different capacity getting jobs, getting back employed. A lot of times in those field offices, they're doing more of the in-person visits versus what we do here at 1,000. It's a lot more over the phone or through the internet, if you will, the Google machine, if you will. So this is more of that interaction one-on-one, and that some people just flat out like that more. So those are the career planner positions. You can find out more about those, the details of them when they get posted. The title on that one pretty much speaks for itself. Then we have a veteran career planner that's going to be, I think it's open now, in our Waterloo office. Right. So I believe you got to be a veteran. I'm a veteran. If you're a veteran, check that out. What you're going to be doing there is helping getting veterans connected with services that are available. It's pretty cut and dry. Veterans are passionate about helping other veterans, and that's really what you're going to be doing there. That'll tie in with our home base Iowa theme, and we have some federal stuff that we do for veterans as well. So if you're a spouse of a veteran or a veteran, both obviously in Iowa, or if they're looking to come to Iowa, you want to show them that, get them connected with that, and we'd love to get them ingrained in that position. So a lot going out there in that Waterloo, Cedar Falls area. Then we have a position in Fort Dodge. Now, this one's called our DVOP. This is essentially an acronym for Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialist, DVOP. It's in Fort Dodge. Again, a little bit different than that veteran career planner in Waterloo, who's more tied to the home base Iowa stuff. This one is going to be more of what we do on our federal stuff, on the federal side of helping veterans. So still helping and serving veterans, just in a little bit different capacity. A lot of kind of overlap, but that's a great position. So if you're a veteran out there in that Fort Dodge area, you want to go to Fort Dodge, check that out. Managerial positions, we have a couple of those out there. One in our Cedar Rapids office. It's for our operation manager. A lot going on in that office. That's a really one of those jobs where a lot of leadership involved, a lot of responsibility with that position. And the Cedar Rapids Iowa Works office is in, I'm going to butcher. For those who are on our NIW, I think it's the Lindale Mall. And it's an enormous office there. It's a really good setup. And I really highly encourage people to check that out as well. That Cedar Rapids, Iowa City just hired a new manager. Those are some big areas. And so a lot going on out there and just opportunity that's available. And then we're soon going to have a business engagement consultant in Spencer, which will be coming up. Now, the business engagement consultant are old business marketing specialists. They've changed the name, was what I mean there. And they're going to be primarily servicing businesses, getting businesses connected with opportunities. That's part of our business engagement rollout. If you're not familiar with all that, go to iowaworkforcedevelopment.gov or just check out the information we put here on Facebook, because there's a lot of stuff that we're doing there. That's a really exciting job. Obviously, if you're up there in that Spencer area, take a look at that. Since it's almost October, it's almost winter there as well. So, I'm partial to that area up there, and that's a great one because there's a lot of opportunity, not only in the Spencer, kind of that the lakes area, but also a little bit more even north west. So great opportunity there. So those are just some of the ones that are available right now for those Iowa Works, that employment side. Again, you get all that through the Iowa Workforce Development Agency tab. When you go to DAS, just tell you what, just use the link in the chat. That'll take you right there. Again, you're going to want to search. You're going to want to look for, let me pull it up here again, just make sure I give you the right tab. So when you get on the website, then you're going to go to the Human Resources tab up at the middle, and then State Appointment, and then you're on your way, okay? So those are the two big areas that we talk about, but we do have other opportunities as well, some specialized ones. One would be in our labor market information area. And so these are a little bit more specialized from a standpoint of, somebody may have has a degree in statistics, or economy. Those are the types of things we're looking there. Our labor market information wing of our business, a part of Iowa Workforce Development plays a huge role, not only for this agency, but really in the entire state, because they're doing more of that work when it comes to looking at the data, not only in workforce, but on a lot of different fronts. And that position is going to be our economist and data analyst. And we have trouble with those positions. We put them out there, and sometimes it takes us a few times. So if that's your forte, you're coming right out of college, or you're looking for a change, check that one out. Again, you can find that all through Iowa Workforce Development on the tab through the DAS website. By the way, the DAS website, DAS just stands for the Department of Administrative Services. That's a centralized hub for all of the state agencies. So that's the LMI, or labor market information position. And then we will have other positions available throughout the year. What I highly suggest, most of the time our positions are posted between 10 to 14 days. So if these, don't do it for you, you're just going to want to keep an eye on the website, because there are plenty of them out there. There are plenty of opportunities, and not only with us, but I want to make sure I plug, certainly I'm for IWD, but all the state agencies, we all work together, and there are a lot of other opportunities that are out there available. Sometimes I think the DAS website just is so unknown at times, or it's just kind of a different website that folks just forget about it. But if you're really into serving the public, you want to help folks, this is where you want to be. There are a lot of perks through the state working here, obviously with IPERS, just some of the different pay structures. There's a tab on the DAS website where you can look at the different opportunities. Every job is kind of different from a standpoint of the work hours, the flexibility. So I won't get too much into that, because that's really defined by the position. It just kind of depends on the position. Some positions here, like others, just require in office, where we have some others, there's a little bit more flexibility in those, and that's really common throughout the state now. So a lot of great opportunity. We really highly encourage everybody to check those out. I know I'm forgetting something. I don't know what it is. If you're not following us, if you're watching this off of Facebook, we really want you to check it out and follow us. Download the Mission Employable podcast. Greg, if you don't mind, put the podcast link in there as well, if you could. Again, you can get it on Apple or Spotify, and look for us to do these at least twice a week, and we'll have a different topic every time, just kind of helping job seekers navigate and look at different things. I thought it was important we talk about this one first, because it is kind of confusing with all of the different terms and names and ideas that are out there that we have. But again, the moral of the story is Greg put the podcast up. Thank you, Greg. It's in the chat. So there are tons of opportunities, and we wanted to make sure we plug them here. And I think that's all I got for today. Thanks for checking us out. We'll be on next Tuesday. And if you have the time and you don't mind, forward this out to some people that you think might benefit from it. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.